And then these are just a few assorted talks from one of the later chapters in this book, The Way Forward, talks by Luang Por Baen, and it's from the chapter on community. So he talks a lot about communal harmony and how to maintain communal harmony in just the daily living in the monastery. And sometimes some of these teachings from Luang Por Baen can seem a bit hard-hitting, but also, whenever I actually find them very, very helpful. So even I just want everybody to know, even as I read these teachings, I'm not trying to hint that I'm free of some of the faults he might be pointing out here. I always need to be reminded of them as well. And I can't exactly remember what is in each of these readings, so just to know that I haven't chosen these readings in order to try to point out anything to anybody in the group here, so don't worry. This one's called Interacting with Each Other, page 208. It's a talk given from July 1st, 1987. Abide peacefully and quietly. Sometimes there are chores when you will be mingling with each other. If you don't have any duties or work, then get away and stay alone, each monk at his kuti. When we part ways, then we hold to staying alone. If there's some chore or duty that involves an explanation or engagement in speech, then at that time we will be interacting with each other. Make interacting with each other into work that has principle. Senior monks come to see the junior monks, who show hospitality. They rise up and greet the senior monk, spread a mat, and have an appropriate seat made ready for receiving them. The senior monk should act correctly and appropriately according to his status as a senior monk. The junior monk's duty is to attend to the senior monk with a sense of humility, honor, and respect. When junior monks go to see senior monks, the senior monks act in accordance with Dhamma by practicing following their duties as senior monks. The junior monks act in accordance with Dhamma by practicing following their duties as junior monks. In this way, we all live together in accordance with the Dhamma. Relating to each other, from August 3rd, 1988. Take care when relating to each other. Be humble and respectful with each other. Novices have respect for one another. Novices have respect for your Ajahn and for the monks. The novices are the offspring, meaning they are the young descendants who must respect the mother, the father, and the elder relatives. Without respect for mother, father, and elder relatives, where will progress and blessings come from? When speaking with one another, don't exhibit the manner of teasing or playing around. It's a burden on the mind, having to hear ongoing teasing and goofing off. People who act in that way don't know what should and shouldn't be done. The seniors like to tease the juniors. Sometimes the seniors tease the juniors too much, and the juniors tease them back. Monks like to tease the novices, and sometimes the novices tease right back. We have to be careful. For if we aren't careful, that means we're not looking after our training. Thus is the training of relating to one another. Humble and respectful, from July 19th, 1989. The words avuso and bante are worth giving attention to and reflecting on. Looking, observing, and taking stock of things, I feel that both the senior and junior monks here are still quite lax in the training. For the most part, it's the senior monks leading the way in laxity. It's quite coarse. Only this much shows that we still aren't able to practice correctly. The Dhamma, which is so profound and subtle that there's no sense of self, no sense of me or mine, no form, but only the refined mental nature, how will we ever get the opportunity to see it? Novices up to Teras, hear me out. Have respect and honor for even the new and junior monks. Newly ordained monks who don't yet understand any of the protocols shouldn't display heedlessness. Have respect and humility and lower yourselves. We say respect, humility, lower yourself, because enlightened beings always have respect and are unassuming. They don't show themselves off as being intelligent. They don't show themselves off as having skill. They don't put on airs. They only have humility and a humble nature through and through. Those who have Dhamma and who abide by Dhamma will be like that. Further gestures of respect from December 20th, 1983. Have respect for the Dhamma and Vinaya. Have respect for one another. Don't just have strong views and conceit. The spirit of the Vinaya is something our teachers have spoken of. If a monk has 3 or more vasas less than another, he should perform gestures of respect toward his senior. This is a minor protocol in the Vinaya that it's called being skilled in seats, that if, like even we practice it here, when somebody gets in the DV, if they're more than 3 vasas less than another monk, they'll just put their hands in Anjali and say, Kolga Kap, like ask permission, and we always say, yeah, please, but that's called being skilled in seats. Have respect, be humble, and know how to express respect. Even if you have the same number of vasas, it doesn't matter. It's still important to keep these things in mind. Be humble. Have respect and take a low position. We say humble and humility because those are dhammas which adorn practitioners, giving them beauty and grace. Senior monks, make yourselves into senior monks who fully accord with Dhamma and Vinaya. Have the kind of respect appropriate for a senior monk. Junior monks, have the kind of respect appropriate for a junior monk. This leads to development in the Buddha's dispensation. If we are hard and unyielding and have conceited views stronger than a thick sheet of iron, then no development in the Buddha's dispensation will be discerned. More impenetrable than a thick sheet of iron is this ditthimana. There's nothing but fuel for a searing fire in the mind and heart if we don't carry the essence of Dhamma and Vinaya within. The importance of bowing, September 20th, 2003. The act of bowing is important. In the old days, the Kruba Ajahns would speak of this. To know a monk, you don't have to look hard, just watch how he bows. You don't have to absorb into samadhi and read his mind. You don't have to use psychic powers or any other special knowledge. Look at his bowing and that says it all. People who don't have heart won't know how to bow. The heart is the one who has the ability, and the heart is the one who actually does it. However the heart is, one's actions will follow suit. Sometimes people just go through the motions of bowing. It's really sad. We want a heart that's secure, not a heart that's just going through the motions of activities. No one is forcing or coercing us to do this. We do this by the power of our own will, as a training that we drill ourselves in. Bowing isn't just an empty ceremony. Bowing is a way to kill off mental obscurations. We adjust ourselves to accord with the Dhamma, October 20th, 1987. Adjust yourselves and do it well. We adapt ourselves to accord with the Dhamma and to be in line with the Vinaya. We don't adjust the Vinaya to accord with us, and we don't adjust the community to be in line with us. We have to adjust ourselves to conform with Dhamma Vinaya. No matter where we live, if we don't mold ourselves into conformity with Dhamma Vinaya, then things will be difficult. It gets to where you will stay if you can, but you are burning up inside and there's no internal security. Adapt yourselves to live in conformity with the place you've chosen to live. We've all come together to live in this form, so we all should modify ourselves and abide in unity with a singleness of purpose. Each of us came from a different father and mother. Sometimes the children from the same father and mother can't get along if they are unable to modify themselves. But if we can modify our behavior, then even with different fathers and mothers, we can live together in unity. The act of modifying our various behaviors is a basis for what we call true principle. So, calibrate yourselves to abide within the Dhamma principle which the Lord Buddha revealed. If we try to modify the Dhamma Vinaya, or we try to make the community conform with us, then the life of our practice becomes pretty dismal. We have to be aware of this issue. Think it over and reflect on it. If we don't contemplate this issue until we understand what is happening, then we will see it as being just a trivial matter. Seeing it as insignificant, it may come to pass that we see ourselves as insignificant in the end. We say, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. This is a traditional saying of old-timers. Actually, in the Thai, it's a completely different saying, but that's the English equivalent saying of this saying. In the Thai, the saying is, when you live in the land of a one-eye king, when he walks past you, close one eye, or something like it. But the meaning is, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. So that's how it's translated here. This is a traditional saying of old-timers. The present, now, will be considered traditional, and in the future, this antiquated expression will persist. If there's a community that isn't good or desirable and not following Dhammavinaya correctly, don't just do as they do, leave. The Lord Buddha laid down the principles of Dhamma in just this way. Wherever you go, they apply. It may happen that you go calling on an acharya or an ajahn, wishing to ask for dependence. At first, take the opportunity to observe him for 2 or 3 days. If that teacher lives in accordance with Dhamma and Vinaya and holds good standards, then go ahead and ask for dependence. If he doesn't live in accordance with Dhamma and Vinaya, if his behavior is dodgy and full of faults, then get away, flee. The Buddha taught that we should be very meticulous while investigating an acharya, a teacher. We are one, from July 19th, 1989. When living and training together, we must have respect. We have to take great care with all things. If we don't have respect and a sense of great care, then a situation antithetical to the training arises, and we start criticizing and blaming each other. Criticizing and blaming here means only focusing on the faults of others. In the end, our living together is no longer for the sake of peace and clarity. We must have respect for Dhamma and Vinaya. When we turn toward respecting Dhamma and Vinaya, and many of us live together, whoever and however we are, we live with one mind, because the Dhamma of the Lord Buddha teaches us all equally. People cultivating the Dhamma of the Lord Buddha have to accord with each other's conduct in order to be united in purpose. You are all like flowers of various types gathered from various places. It doesn't matter where the flowers came from. When they are strung together into a single garland, they are pleasing and beautiful and can be made into an ornament. The garland is then suitable to be used as a sacred offering. All of us are just like this. We came from various family lineages, and when we come together in the Dhamma training, we become one. So gather yourselves, enter the gate, and set your sights on penetrating the Dhamma training of the Lord Buddha. Really do it. We are one, like the flower garland that the skilled garland maker has tied up well. We aim to cure ourselves by studying ourselves until things become clear. We aim to cure and transform ourselves and enter into the Dhamma. There are the Dhamma trainings regarding lying down, sitting, walking, and standing. There are the Dhamma trainings regarding eating and chewing, urinating and defecating. There are the Dhamma trainings regarding our movements and our relationship with one another. Make it all correct according to Dhamma, and don't deviate from the Dhamma. We say, all postures, meaning make them all accord with Dhamma, for then we will live in unity. Whether we are several, 100, 1,000, 10,000, or 100,000, we are one, because the Dhamma of the Lord Buddha teaches us all equally. How could those who cultivate the Dhamma training be any different from each other? They are already one. See, this is desirable. To achieve this, we have to make an effort at curing ourselves. Cure yourself. This is the most excellent and correct way to get cured. If we go and try to cure others, then that cure isn't correct and doesn't accord with the Dhamma of the Lord Buddha. The Dhamma of the Lord Buddha teaches us to cure ourselves. When we cure ourselves, that is the direct way. This is the sure cure which leads us to being united with others. Being correct in this way accords with the Dhamma of the Lord Buddha and is clean, beautiful, and wonderful, like the flower garland skillfully strung together. Respect for the Dhamma, from June 2nd, 2003. Everyone here should aim their respect toward the Dhamma. If you respect the Dhamma, then even small children will be worthy of your respect. In respecting the Dhamma, you have respect for yourself and for your group of friends. You respect the rules in the Vinaya and the rules of the community. This is called respect for the Dhamma. Various people living together, all respecting Dhamma, abide with one mind. They all fit well. If you understand this point, then there won't be any problems living the ordained life. Respect for the Dhamma is respect for the teachings of the Buddha, however he laid them out. Practice according to the Buddha's teaching. If you don't respect the Dhamma, then there's just respect for the kilesa. Whatever these defilements want, we will follow their will. It's like the front and back of your hand, or like a door or window. If it's not open, it's closed. If it's not closed, it's open. If there is only respect for the kilesa, where is the heart that respects the Dhamma? Wherever practitioners who respect the Dhamma live, there's happiness and they live in concord. Etam mangalam uttamang. This is one of the highest blessings. Meetings. This is from July 19th, 1989. When we gather for the morning meeting, make an effort to show genuine respect during that meeting. Take on the practice of bowing and chanting. Then sit in meditation, following what has been done before. Whoever tends to miss the meetings often, due to not hearing the bell or whatever, make a great effort. When you make a great effort, then you will hear that bell. If the heart tries only a little, or doesn't try at all, then in the end you will miss out on the opportunity to bow, chant, and meditate with the group. After the meal, if you don't have any duties, then relax. Go and do as you see fit. If it's convenient, hang back to see if there are any guests or visitors to be received, which is a necessary task. But it's not necessary to gather together a lot. Each day, if just 1 or 2 monks hang back, it's enough. Hospitality, from July 20th, 1989. Don't overlook the protocols toward guests coming and going. Those duties belong to every one of us. Don't hold that it's the duty of someone else just because they have received the guests before, or because that person has greeted that particular guest before. If we think like that, then we've really let go of the standards of training. Eventually, we won't even know what it means to show hospitality, so take heed. You have to be smart in the way you receive guests. And in order to get smart, you have to do it often. Get smart by using your eyes and ears. Be observant. When we get smart with our eyes and ears, then we will read the situation and know what kind of hospitality to show according to the behavior and manner of the guest. A smart person ought to be able to observe this and show hospitality which is appropriate to the characteristics of that particular guest. When we receive a junior monk with the honors of a senior monk, or when we receive a distinguished visitor by treating them as someone unimportant, that we call not being smart by way of the eyes and ears. In this training, we should always be ready to help out. We offer or help whenever we can by offering to take their yam, their bowl, or even their shoes. The Buddha lauded the act of receiving guests and the showing of hospitality. He really criticized those who neglected this practice. So I urge you, junior monks and senior monks alike, to get interested in this. Don't think that because you're already a big Ajahn, this doesn't apply to you. That kind of thinking isn't correct, and what's more, it will lead the junior monks to neglect the standards of hospitality as well. We ourselves have to uphold this practice, and then we will be a cause for others to do the same. The training gets rid of coarse desires, from July 26th, 1982. Take delight in an existence where you no longer entangle yourselves with others. In the middle of the day, take the opportunity to do walking meditation and practice sitting meditation. Yes, there are times when we need to look for firewood, do the laundry, and so on, but those things don't take all day. We still have the opportunity to slip away and do walking meditation. We still have the opportunity to slip away and do sitting meditation. That being said, every duty that we undertake, following our Kawat, is an opportunity for practice as well. Sweeping, mopping, and cleaning are times for giving rise to energy as a practice. It's not the same as work like villagers in the world do. Ours is done as a training and giving rise to energetic effort. When we perform our duties and give rise to energetic striving, then they become a Dhamma for cultivating the heart. Laziness and lassitude will gradually become less, lose their flavor, and vanish. In terms of coarse desires, the eye is coarse and the ear is coarse because the heart is coarse. When you come across a good practice for cultivating the heart, act on it and make much of it. Coarseness and frivolity are just the defilements expressing themselves. However, these things will dry up due to your actions which accord with the skillful Dhamma you have discovered. Okay, and then I'll read a little bit of a newer translation of a Luang Por Baen book, and this is just something which is in progress. This is from, so this book, The Way Forward, was printed in 2012, and then the last book ever printed of Luang Por Baen's teachings was called Path and Fruit, which was printed in, I think it was, would have been maybe 2016. This talk is called Practice Monks. We say, practice monks. Those words point to something wonderful beyond measure. May we all be real practice monks, directing our efforts towards staying with our theme of practice, our kammatthana. If us practice monks direct our attention somewhere else due to not taking an interest in the proper themes, then we will have removed our heart from the practice, and the result won't be correct. We won't be in line with the people in the world calling us practice monks. The heart of a practice monk abides within the meditation theme. He buries himself deep in the kammatthana and really goes headfirst into it. Head hair is a meditation theme. Body hair is a meditation theme. Nails are a meditation theme. Teeth are a meditation theme. Skin is a meditation theme. The word tacha pancha kammatthana means the 5 meditation objects of head hair, body hair, nails, teeth, and skin. Or all 32 body parts continuing on from these 5 are another level or aspect of this theme. Us practice monks ought to bury our mind and heart deep in our meditation theme. This matter of walking meditation and sitting meditation is of utmost importance. This is the matter of contemplating our meditation themes of head hair, body hair, nails, teeth, and skin, seeing their unattractive nature, train to see them as something unclean. Realize that they are earth, water, air, and fire. It is necessary to contemplate these things in order to realize their true nature. For those who have already gained some realization into these things, contemplate further to make them even more clear and apparent. Make them vivid and very clear. For those who haven't yet gained realization into these things, prod yourselves and hurry and enter into them. If we haven't gained this realization, then the mind won't gain an opportunity to reach the heart ordination. It won't be able to enter into the state of a noble one, or even a novitiate. One must see into these meditation themes. One must realize the true nature of the meditation theme beforehand. Then the mind will reach the state of being a noble one. If you don't yet know and see, and haven't focused on your study of these meditation themes, then this knowledge and vision will continue to escape you. Then one is a monk only on account of the shaven head, and none of us want that to be the case. We want to shave our whole head. We want to shave our whole mind and heart as well. Shave the messmaker completely off the mind and heart, then that mind-heart sphere will be noble. All of us want to be monks by way of not just our whole body, but our whole mind as well. So hurry and get down to it, and don't delay. And what is our Dhamma razor, which can shave the messmaker off the mind and off the heart? Hurry and prod yourselves to cultivate by seeing head hair, body hair, nails, teeth, and skin. If we don't hurry and try to force ourselves by way of the method of contemplating head hair, body hair, nails, teeth, and skin to realize their true nature, then these very things will make the mind and heart be a mess. All beings in the world, every mind and heart, no matter what order of being they are, all hold to just this head hair, body hair, nails, teeth, and skin. They are the mess makers for the minds and hearts of worldly beings. As ordained people, we have ample opportunity to get rid of, to wipe the mess maker out of the mind and of the heart. Eventually, this mess maker will be all gone. We now have a precious opportunity to make this happen. But even though we have this precious opportunity, if we lack the appropriate effort and don't strive to use this opportunity to get the benefit, then we miss the opportunity to remove the mess maker. The mind will remain firmly stuck in its mess, just like a head which hadn't been shaved. If you search for cleanliness and beauty there, you won't be able to find it. Get really interested in this, so that you all strive to bury the mind and heart inside the kammatthana completely. In all four postures, don't let the heart get pulled away from the kammatthana. Don't lose the plot. Our defilements lay in waiting and will take the first opportunity to make the mind and heart lose the plot. There are many things which cause our mind and heart to get distracted. If our earnestness of mind and determination of heart to stay with the kammatthana aren't enough, then old defilements tug at the mind, causing it to be swayed. They can tug at the heart, causing it to drift away and follow a wayward path. Those who benefit from their study and practice do so because they put their whole heart into it. They put their heart into everything they do. They see the benefits and receive the benefits which arise from the practice and training. And let's see, maybe I'll just read one more. The foundation upon which path and fruit arise. A long time ago here, our Kruba Ajahns were having a discussion about how to translate this word kammatthana. They decided that it just means living here in this practice monastery. There were many Kruba Ajahns here at that time, with Tanjau Kun Dhammachetty as the senior. Finally, they decided to translate kammatthana as the base upon which path and fruit arise. They translated it like that. Kammatthana is the foundation which enables path and fruit to arise. It's the foundation upon which virtue stands. It's the foundation upon which all goodness and all wholesome qualities arise. So we call it the base upon which path and fruit arise. We hope for the path and hope for the fruit. So what is this foundation? Just what is this foundation that we are to build? What kind of foundation will cause path and fruit to arise out of it? Focus all your energies on this question. Be completely intent on this point. Don't withdraw the mind from this point. If we withdraw the mind from the work which will turn us into noble ones, where we build up path and fruit, then, just like that, we become people who are distracted and heedless. Distracted and heedless means we've allowed the mind to drift from the work site where we build ourselves up to the state of noble ones. Only the kammatthana can prepare us to enter into the state of the noble ones. If we haven't yet gained realization into the kammatthana, then we are monks only in name. But the heart isn't in line with what we call ourselves because we haven't yet seen into and clarified the kammatthana. This kammatthana is something most excellent. The acharyas of ancient times established that in the going forth in higher ordination, the kammatthana must be spoken of every time. And the kammatthana must be taught to aspirants before they don the sacred triple robe set. This shows that the kammatthana is the very root of the monk's life and is our spiritual life. It's the root foundation of those who protect the sacred robe. So get interested. Implant yourself into this root foundation. In the center is the birthplace of Magga and Pala. In the center is the birthplace of the monk. Monk here means the mind, and refers to a mind and heart which has reached the highest. For the heart to reach the highest, it must have a breakthrough in the Kammatthana first. If there hasn't yet been this breakthrough in the Kammatthana, but instead one is still infatuated with the Kammatthana objects, how can the mind become a monk? Reach an understanding. We now have this opportunity to gather our energies and strive with all our mindfulness, strength, and skill. Don't drift into laziness, lassitude, or a cavalier attitude, which causes one to fall off track and lose the way. We thus go away from the point where the nascent path, fruit, and Dhamma might arise in the heart. So we have some time for Dhamma discussion, and I thought rather than asking for questions, I might question all of you if anybody can see some themes that are running through all of these readings the past few days, past week. Any particular practice themes? Anybody? Yes, Amanda. Very good. Persistence and inclining toward the wholesome. Sadhu. Linda? Focusing on the core of what's important in practice, not being distracted from that. Very good. Yeah, we'll see all these things as a thread running through all the teachings. Anybody else? One more? Tatyampi? Manny?
Right speech, communication.
Very good. Right speech, communication. Sadhu. Yeah, there's for me, there's a number of things I find striking about these, and a lot of it is the teachings for me that seem to really hit home, or that I feel like are good to cultivate, are all these teachings about respect and humility, and not kind of putting on airs and things like this. I've found I've had to work with those things quite a bit. So just always taking kind of a low position. This is also a theme that Luang Por Liam, anybody who gets to know Luang Por Liam better, he's constantly teaching about this idea of offering the victory to others. And it's actually very difficult to do, because I remember trying to do this with somebody once, saying like, but I said, okay, I offer the victory to you. So then that means actually I didn't. Actually, that was more still trying to like gain victory over them, but through just using that teaching in the wrong way. See, to truly offer the victory to others, it means really lowering oneself. That would be no different than saying, okay, you win, an argument or whatever, but that doesn't work so well. Or just saying to somebody, just let go, that's one of the worst. Or just be mindful, so we can use the Dhamma kind of in the wrong way if we say that. That's I've seen fights almost break out, like physical fights almost break out through somebody saying that to somebody else. In Thailand, not here. I haven't seen that so much here.